So we are grateful for her for believing in that. Shakia worked on so many campaigns nationally, and Stacey Abrams was one of her key campaigns. So, and with our organization and all the work that we do across counties, my honor, my privilege, it's a crazy story to be here honoring Dr. Shirley Benton. And as my legacy, because of all the other states we have, all 8 states, we're coming to you next year. We'll see who is picked. They picked this one for me this year, but we know, because I'm a lover of God, you may not be. If not, my apologies, more for me to love. So with that being said, we were picked in Texas, and I don't think it was an accident, because Texas has a lot of things happening where civic engagement is becoming a priority. Nobody is really staying in the house anymore. They thought they would. That's why they did the things that they did. But we are getting up and we are rising up for such a time as this. And to have legacy on with us, someone who knows what it was, right? And that could really walk us down through there, as the young people say, through there, right? So we are excited about that opportunity. So the first thing I want to do is I want to, and I cannot see who is on, so give me a minute, guys, to make sure, because Dr. Benton, we have something special for you. We have a very pretty face that I know you recognize. I am going to ask Miss Chandra Randall to speak, please. You have the floor.
Okay. Well, first off, it can be done. And I'm happy to share this moment with my auntie. And she's a legacy in our family. And I think we're all just proud and happy to see her excel. And the good thing is I'm going to be able to take my grandchildren and show them her name on a street topper. And so that's very exciting. And I'll have them next weekend. So I'm actually going to take them there and show them. And I mean, they didn't grow up with her, but they're going to know her legacy for sure. And the city of Fort Worth, she's making everyone proud. She's making the family proud. And I mean, I could go on and on about how wonderful she is to us and how precious. And it's honor to share her with other people and share her with you and other people who really appreciate what she's doing for the community. Is there anything else you want me to say? I could like talk forever, but Brisha, I've known you for about, I guess, 10, 15 years now. And it was an honor for you to invite me to speak when the other lady wasn't able to make it. And
Thank you for being a willing vessel. We understand that sometimes things happens and times and paths get crossed and people can't. But I'm a firm
right,
believer of, in any room, whoever is supposed to be in the room will be in the room. That's just
correct.
such is life. And so it was you were supposed to be here. And so I am
I
so
like that.
grateful for that. So grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
You're
I
welcome.
am wanting to now pass the mic. If you can mute yourself, we're going to pass the mic to Bianca McLeod.
Yes, ma'am. And I apologize, everyone, in advance. I'm driving, just picking up my daughter from school. But yes, Dr. Benton, you know me as Bianca McLeod. It's actually Bianca Green now. And so I was a student, class of 2000, Dunbar High School. And she was my principal. And I just love everything about Miss Benton. She was stern, but she meant business, and she made sure that we were safe and successful. When I attended Dunbar, it was heavy with gangs and all kind of mischief, and so she came in, cleaned it up in class with class. It can be done, and to this day, you're one of my role models. One of my former teachers, I'm currently a principal at Baylor Elementary in Crowley ISD. And one of my former teachers, he actually reached day, and he called me Baby Benton because I guess I remind him of you and just how I run a tight ship and make sure that the students are successful, make sure that that they're safe. And so it's totally an honor, and I'm just so grateful to you, Dr. Benton. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Bianca. Thank you. Thank you. And the next person we have is Tina James. Would you unmute yourself and speak, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me say that it's an absolutely honor and a pleasure to actually be on and to allow myself to be graced with her presence. She is an absolutely amazing woman. She was a great leader, very strong instructional teacher, and she meant what she said, and she said what she meant when she said what she said. And for those who don't get this, you'll get it later. She didn't play. She gave love when it was needed. She gave structure because it was required, and she gave strength to everyone that was weak and needed it. Let me just tell you that she was an absolute pleasure to be around. Not only was she a great person, but she had a motherly figure that rang throughout the school. And so one day I got in trouble for, I'm not even going to tell you that. She pinched me. That's all I'm going to say. She pinched me. It was well deserved now that I think about what I did, but then I didn't think it was nice. And I came home and I told my mom, and my mom pinched me too, on top of getting a whooping. So, Dr. Benton, I want to say thank you for the the malinstructions that you gave to me and my brother Troy Woodard. So, of course, he kept getting suspended and in trouble all the time, but she used to just look at him and say, "Boy, you know you're gonna get a beating when you get home. You know you're gonna get it." But she was so kind, and I just wanted to say it was also a pleasure to be there when she got the street named after her. For those who might not see, we have a lot of photos up under the sign, where the bike, and understand it can be done. It will be done, and it shall be done. We appreciate you for gracing Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School, located at 5700 Ramey Avenue in the heart of Stop Six, Texas, where we call it the capital of Fort Worth. We appreciate you spending your time and giving us your undivided attention at Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. Thank you again for all your love and support, Dr. Benton.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as they say, you guys were all great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You were amazing. But it's a adage that says we save the best for last. We're going to say that's her pastor to share and come in and speak on his experience, his knowledge, his wisdom for Dr. Shirley Benton.
Well, good evening, everyone. And I want to thank Dr. Brescia for this. I do know that I am not the only fan of Shirley Knox Benton. I happen to think I'm the number one fan, but I have a few words that I wrote down so that I can stay on track because Dr. Brescia told me no more than 3 minutes.
No, no, you're okay.
So let me start out by saying that there are some names that don't just identify a person, they define a legacy. And in the city of Fort Worth, Texas, in the halls of Dunbar High School, and in the heart of the Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church on the north side, one name stands tall: Shirley Knox Benton. I hate to say it, but it's a blessing. 88 years strong. She was born in Longview, Texas, and I was going to pull out my book and I left it at the church. But she's a trailblazer, an educator, a principal, historian, a confidant. And for nearly 10 years, I've had the distinct privilege of calling her a member under my care and one of God's greatest gifts to my life. And I don't say that lightly. So if I could describe her with an acronym, I've been thinking about this throughout the day. You know her name, her first name is Shirley, and I mean no disrespect when I say that. Even to this day, I put a handle in front of her name. Shirley, S, steadfast, always present, never absent when it matters. As a pastor, she is one of the most faithful members of the Shiloh Church. And I know that didn't start with me. There are many DVDs and VHSs, if we remember those, where she is actively present in the life of the Shiloh Church. H, honorable, a woman of integrity in every space she enters. I, influential, shaping generations. I hate to say this, but many of her students are my age. Are reliable, a pillar you can lean on in bright days and learn even in dark nights. She's loving, making sure every member feels seen. At our church, even on their birthday, with a little something for Dr. Pepper, she'll put a note in the mail on their birthday. And then E, exemplary, not just a great leader, but a good follower. And then Y, yielded to God, a life submitted to purpose, not pride. She's known across this city, and I mean this. People walk up to me and ask, they did it just today at a whole rally. Are you the pastor of the church where Shirley Knox Benton belongs? I'm always proud to say yes. Some of you may not know this. Sometimes pastors aren't proud to tout some members, but I am so proud. I say to some of my leaders, we've got to one day, I hope she lives to see it, but we've got to have some building with her name on it. And it's when you know you're pastoring someone who has already preached a sermon with her life. She served faithfully alongside my predecessor, Reverend Albert M. Mitchell Jr. She's preserved the history of Shiloh Church. She is our official historian. And she has supported her pastor, not with noise, but with wisdom. There are times when I've been at my lowest. She knows this. I call her. Sometimes she's just like my mother. I don't call my mother every day, but when I call her, she doesn't say, "What took you so long?" She just listens. She gives her wisdom and she talks and she listens. I remember early in my pastorate, there were decisions she didn't fully agree with. It was not really fully my decision. I was the new pastor, but she didn't divide. She didn't disrupt. She didn't disappear. She knows what I'm talking about. She stayed. She watched. And then one day, a letter came. I don't know if you've ever gotten a letter from Shirley Knox Benton that says on the top or the front, "For your eyes only." I anticipated. I loved getting these letters. Sometimes I would get nervous. That was one of the times. She said what she needed to say. I'm almost done. And when she was done, as God is my witness, she was done. Never brought it up again. Treated me the same way. That's not just character, and I know that there are others who have different persuasions, but that's Christ likeness, because that's how God deals with us. He forgives and casts it away, never to be remembered. So she stood for me in the brightest moments and also the darkest moments. And every now and then, through her presence, it's as if God whispers, "I told you, I'm with you." And there are times I can get discouraged, as pastors do. And every now and then I look over where she is to my right and I hear God whispering, "I told you, I'm with you." There are some people that don't bother me because they see her. God tells me, "I told you, I'm with you."
Mm.
Now, I don't usually talk about favorites, but if the Lord lets me live long enough, I believe even my strongest critics will understand through my stories. Some I don't tell now, but maybe later. Why Shirley Knox Benton will always be on my Mount Rushmore. You know how many that you can get on that? Of members who have profoundly shaped my life. And if she happens to go before me, and I see my Savior, after I see him, one of the first people I will look for is Shirley Knox Benton. And if there's anything I know about her spirit, I know she's going to walk up to me and say, now you didn't have to say all of that, but welcome home. So I'm grateful. I thank God for her each and every day. She is such an amazing spirit. I am so honored whenever I have an opportunity to speak words of her. She is a jewel, a blessing, a joy. And I am so honored that I have the privilege to tell everybody I am her pastor. I'm grateful. Thank you for these words and allowing me to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing it. It means a lot. Thank you for that. I would like to tell you guys also how I met Dr. Shirley Benton. My mother was murdered, and I lived with family. I was a very wayward little girl, and I would have to go to the principal's office. And when I would go into her office, she would give me pops. So I understand the pinch. She would give me pops. And there several times I had to go. One of the times I had to go, I layered and went home that evening because was supposed to go that day. But I decided I would go home and layer so my pops wouldn't hurt so bad. When I got there that day to get my pops, she said, I turned around to get them. She said, no, go over there and take off 2 or 3 pair of those pants. So and I took them off and got my pops, but it began to where it was times I no longer had to get the pops because it was, when most children are misbehaved or labeled as bad, it's because something is missing. There is a lack somewhere. And I did not have the stability, the love, nor the attention. So I didn't realize that going in there with her was her giving me that love, that time, and that attention. So I would sit in there and file papers and do all the things. Fast forward, I didn't see her in the same city for all of these years. We ran into each other at an event called Story Corps. And at this Story Corps, that's a whole nother story for a whole different day. But we got the opportunity for her to see what God has really done in my life, to see the fruit of her love, the fruit of her legacy, the fruit of her labor operating in the capacity that God has now blessed me in. And I am so grateful for that and grateful to share this space with all of you. Grateful that we are all gathered in this space, and my heart and spirit want to say sacred space because it is. Because anytime we get together and share spirits, it's sacred. So with no further ado, Dr. Benton, I know you have a wardrobe change, so if you could turn your camera off and we'll just give you how long you need. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, I turn it
Because
off.
we all know Dr. Benton, Dr. Shirley Knox Benton, to one thing that she's known for. Put it in the chat, the thing that she's really known for. What's she known for, guys? Let me see who said it first. Maybe we can get my teammates to send you a shirt or something. Where's the chat? Yep, who said it? Lisa did. That's the first one I see. Was Lisa first? Was Lisa first? She was. Okay. Yes. So, yes. Definitely. So she'll be right back. And when she's back, I am going to introduce the legend so that we can hear her legacy. As she's doing that, I'll start. Dr. Shirley Benton is a distinguished educator, historian, and cultural steward whose life's work has centered on preserving Black history, uplifting community voice, and ensuring that our stories are told with truth, dignity, and care. A proud Fort Worth leader, Dr. Benton has spent decades educating generations inside classrooms and beyond them on the power of legacy, civic responsibility, come on, Tarrant County, civic responsibility, and collective memory. Cited nationally by the Reader's Digest as an American hero in education for turning a troubled school as Miss McLeod Green spoke about, around one of 10 in the nation, making it one of its outstanding high schools in the state of Texas, which led to being selected Texas's High School Principal of the Year in 2001. Under her leadership, Dunbar High School was selected by Texas Education Agency as a gold performance campus. Did you hear that from what Miss Tina and Bianca shared Dunbar was, what she turned it into? And they received a $117,550,000 for raising the TOS test scores. First African-American female principal of Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School, first African-American female to hold the title of Region 11 High School Principal of the Year, 2001, the title still stands. First African-American female to hold the title of Texas's High School Principal of the Year, 2001, the title still stands. First and only educator in North Texas area to receive the Reader's Digest of American Hero in Education Award in 1996. First in the area to receive the United States Congressional Award from the United States Representative Martin Frost and the late John Lewis. With no further ado, I introduce and present to hear from the legend and the legacy herself, Dr. Benton.
I can't get in. It says the host has asked you to start my video. All right.
Okay, the host is working on it, I'm assuming. There we go.
Woo!
Look at that one. Come off your mics, guys, and let's give her a round of applause.
Paper out. That's all right.
That's nice.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good.
I should have brought a crying towel. I didn't expect all of this. I just thought we were just going to talk about old times and some times and all. But thank you all so much. I don't like things like this. Pastor Pullum, they've already had my funeral, only 30 minutes for my funeral. Only 30 minutes, okay?
Okay.
All right. But thank you so much. Brescia and I go way back. I've been looking for Brescia for 39 years. After I left Northside High School, I moved on to Southwest High School, and all those years I wandered. And just a few weeks ago, we were at an event, as she mentioned, and she walked up to me and she says, "Do you know me?" And I screamed, "Brescia." Brescia was a young lady that I could see in myself at 15 years old, needing love and attention. The teachers wanted me to send her home and do some things, so I just showed that pal enough to let them know to pacify them. But Brescia stayed in my office. I didn't believe in sending children home. I don't send children home to watch television all day. So Brescia was in my office, and I would have the teachers to send Brescia's work to me. But it wasn't until I saw Brescia when we were interviewed on StoryCorps that I knew that her mother was murdered. And I knew that was something. And I didn't give up on Brescia. And today, cast your bread upon the waters, and now Brescia, we're here doing what I never dreamed. And I want to thank you so much. Thank you. Now, what do you want me to do and talk about, Brescia? You have anything special? Which way do you want me to go?
How it all started, everything we talked about.
All right.
Start with you. What you want to share, start with, we're here for you.
It started many years ago. I was only a little girl of 8 years old, 7 months apart, losing both mother and daddy. Daddy died in December. Mommy died in July. And nobody wanted us really. Well, really, everybody had 11 and 5 and 6 and 7 children, so there was really nowhere to go. But this mother's sister, and my mother asked her sister, who was she and her husband were unable to have children, and so she asked her to take us, and they did not wink an eye. They took us, an 18-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and an 8-year-old. The oldest sister had just married, and she had 2 children, and we still stayed close in. And some of those babies on this line today, some of those my sister's children, they're here. And so we made it like any other American family. And of course, they told my adopted mother and father that they were crazy for taking both of us. And I never shall forget, one day I never did find out who it was, but I was on the inside and they were on the screen porch and I was in the living room, and I heard they had sent this person to tell her how crazy they were for taking us. Mm. And years later, I asked her, who was that? And she refused to tell me. I never did know who it was that told her. And of course, they watched us through the years. And believe it or not, of all the children and grandchildren that they had at that time, my brother and I and my sister Valletta were the first 3 to receive degrees, and all of the 41 grandchildren. So it's always been mine to give back, and I don't like to use the word underdog, but I'll use that word. I am for those people who people say they can't make it. And you know, don't tell me what I can't do. I can do it, and I know what we can do. I was just reading the other day about believing and conceiving and achieving, and you can do anything that you set your heart and mind to. And so I've always been for all of the children, but especially those, and I've always tried to find those troubled children. I've always tried to find them. I still have a young man I'm looking for now. He was a runaway in the 5th grade, and he ate out of McDonald's every day. I'm coming to school. And I'm still looking for him. His name is Luther. And I'm looking for him like I was looking for Brescia. I came up in segregated days, but believe it or not, my adopted mother was a shrewd lady. And had she lived in her time and able to be elected for mayor, she would have been that kind of person because people looked up to her. She was very strict. We were in segregation days, but I didn't get a lot of that because she was very shrewd and she knew how to work around it. First time I ever heard about poll tax was from her. She believed, she was a civic lady. She was all into all of that. And I'm telling you now, everybody, you need to stop and vote. Stop and vote. Please go vote. I've already voted. They don't think we can vote, but you need to just do what I'm asking you to do because it will pay off. You don't think it will. I remember the colored and white fountain. And in my book, and I want you can get my book from Amazon, but in my book, I don't like to talk about myself. Just get my book and you'll see the whole story. But we came up in those days. I never did have the privilege of riding on the back of the bus because everywhere we went, we walked. And we walked a lot of always to school. I really did 32 blocks round trip to school. I walked to school every day in the rain, whatever was coming up. And we didn't have the time to complain. She made things so easy for us. Going to the cafeteria, going where you go to the back of the store and get a hamburger and all. No, never did any of that. She had a shoebox. And to this day, I still don't know how she would put chicken and dressing and peaches and cake and all in this shoebox. And we go to church, and we did church all day long. Oh dear, all day, every Sunday. My adopted father told her one day that if he knew she was going to be at the church every day in the week, he would have bought the church house across the street from the church. But we went through all of that. And she organized the first library in Longview, and we would go down to the library and get the old books. And she worked for the city at that time, one of the few to do that. And of course, she did that. And a lot of times when people didn't come to the library, she would get busy and get out going down the street, making sure that people had books and all of that. So the I didn't ride as the city bus. Maybe every once in a while we got on the city bus, but most of my time was walking. But going to get things at the back of the kitchen, no, no. It was that shoebox, and I still don't know today how we had so much. So we would go to church, Sunday school in the morning. Then we would have church. We'd have 3 o'clock service. We stay for BTU. We stay for night service, and we didn't get home some nights till 10 o'clock. But we were walking. Never rode on the back of a bus. Never. Not so. School didn't offer a bus, so that was walking. Going to church, that was walking, and that was just a way of life. But all those things, we never had a chip on our shoulder. She made sure of that didn't happen. She didn't point out negative things for us. It was always the positive. Now, we were a bit mischievous a lot of times, my brother and I. We would walk through from school and come through the courthouse, go down at the basement of the courthouse, and we'd drink our both fountains, the colored and the white fountain. And sure enough, the white fountain was good on cold water. You know, I guess we would have gotten in trouble had we been caught, but those were the things that we experienced. But I have no chips, no, and I know a lot of people suffer. But as far as what we didn't have, we always had. And I need to tell you, it's not, I don't wear, it's a habit, it's a tradition in our family. We just wear hats. That's just a part of us. And from a little girl, I had hats, had flower sack dresses made, and something on my head. So that's just a part of me. It's not a part in being whatever, but fashionable. But that's just a part of me. But my life has just been one good life to be an offering to come where we've come from. And one thing about our family, the sisters and brothers, we stood together and worked together. Even my oldest sister, who had married and had 2 children when my parents died, we stayed together and checked on each other and made sure that she had a certificate in her life, and she became a nurse and all and helped. So it's for these 5 children to come from where we came from. It has just been a blessing. I have no regrets. And I can sing every day. I am so grateful because he brought me through this. He brought me through that. And of course, there were doors closed in my face, but have no regrets of the life that I lived. Risha,
I am here.
you want me to go farther?
I can ask you a few questions, no problem. I'm gonna bring 1 second.
All right, do so. I have my head down because I don't want you all to see all this paper stuffed under this hat.
You're okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So what we're going to do is what you and I did at StoryCorps. Some of these questions kind of we're going to remind you. You may have answered some of them, but I'm going to ask. I'm going to deal these cards. These are the StoryCorps question cards, and I think these are some amazing cards to play with your family or use with your family. I don't know if you guys are familiar with StoryCorps. I was not, but we did do a filming on that and a legacy talk together. She talked about her journey. I spoke a little bit about mine. She kept deflecting, putting it on me when it was all about her. It had nothing to do with me, but she kept doing it. And I am so grateful for that. I'm grateful for her to have seen young people like myself. And then I even heard you say you were in church all day. I remember when I was growing up, and I am half of 100 plus, you know, and we were in church a whole lot, and I thought it was too much. And so I can only imagine what you endured and then what they're getting now is a lack of that. So it's kind of describing what's wrong with the climate, but that's neither here nor there. So let me. I'm going to just pick a card and I'm going to ask you a question. Can you guys see these cards? So I'm just going to go and read this.
And Bianca, while you're getting your cards together, I want to thank Chandra and Bianca and my pastor and who was the other person? Tina. Thank you for your remarks. It brought tears to my eyes. I just want to thank you. That was a surprise for me, Breeze, to
I
bring
know.
them in. Thank
You
you.
deserved it. You deserved it. If we would have all been able to throw a party, we would have. The question is, who were your best friends? And I'll do 3 of these, and then I will allow the people that are still joining us, because you have quite a few people that are still with us, to see if they want to ask you a question or say something to you. And for starters, we'll do 1 minute each. So 3 of these. Who were your best friends as a kid, and what were they like?
Believe it or not, you remember me saying all day long we were at church, right? I saw my friends at school and I saw them at church. I didn't have what was called a best friend. My adopted mother didn't believe in that kind of thing. My brother was my best friend.
Mm.
And we saw, there were no, what you call these sleep-ins and all these kinds of things. No, 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 none of that. Uh, I saw them at Sunday school, I saw at church, and I saw them at school. They went their way, I went out, but she was just, I don't know, I look back now with her being very strict, she was determined that even though the people told her she was crazy, they were crazy, she was determined that we were going to stay on the right track. So I told a niece of mine not so long ago, they take these trips, the girls' trips and some trips and all of that. And even so, I want to tell you that I joined a sorority. And I did this year, I won't tell you what sorority because they were so cruel. And I just couldn't believe that these sisters were going to be my sisters after I crossed the burning sand. I had some memory there. And so I did, when I crossed the burning sand, I never did affiliate. This would have been my 70th year as a sorority girl. But I didn't believe in that cruelty. It was bad back then, undergrad. It was really bad. Maybe I shouldn't have done it, but I crossed the burning sand. And when I crossed the burning sand with the sorority, I never looked back.
Wow, wow.
Never.
Well, I'm gonna dig deeper into that one off camera. So okay, so we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. Cause all right, 2 more. Oh, we're gonna just go. I'm just gonna pick. This is something to do with family. It's good questions, good conversation starters. It's awesome. Stop right here. This one says, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Thank you for asking that question. Remember, I told you undoubtedly, my mother had an intuition that she was not going to live on. I had my sister Valletta laughing once. I said, Valletta, you know what? Mother left us. She said, Lord, she went on. She loved my father so. She died of heartbreak because she only lived a short time after he died. Now, he died. He worked in a soap factory and he died of hemorrhage in the blood. I guess the soap and all got into his blood. And that was a shock for her. And I said, Mother just said she just couldn't take care of all these children. And so the question again asked me, what was the question? What was the question, Bridget?
Question was, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Thank you. What I wanted to be, believe it or not, Mother knew undoubtedly she had an intuition. And my sister Valletta was already in college. So she was strictly into education. And she had it laid out. She wanted me to be a music person. I started taking music at 7 years old before she died. And she brother was a band teacher. And my sister Valletta was an elementary teacher. She didn't want to go anywhere but the 3rd grade and all of that. And she was really a good teacher. So Mother had already laid out plans for us before she died.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that question. Last one. We'll be mindful of everybody's time. We're going to be here until you leave, like the church. No, I'm kidding. Okay, ready?
Yes.
We'll stop. What color do you want me to stop on, Dr. Ben? Can you see?
I see. Purple or blue, whatever it's fine.
Blue is right there. This one? How would you like to be remembered?
My legacy. It can be done. With God, all things are possible. That's what I want there. My mantra is it can be done because I just think that everybody has a gift. And I try to pull out the best of them, and I want to be remembered as that it can be done, lady. And I had a young person that went into boot camp once, and when they came home, they told me, said, I was in that mud trying to make it, and I thought I couldn't make it. It was really funny how he was telling me. And he said, I was saying, oh, but it can be done, and all of the way. And I think that's been the legacy with all of my children. I see a former student on here, Theo Bray. Theo was one of the AXO winners for drama. He won the gold with NAACP at AXO. Theo, I saw his name earlier. I don't know whether Theo is here or not, or maybe he's in the chat. But I want to remember that she did the very best that she could.
Yes, so we can start there. Theo Bray, would you please unmute yourself? If you're speaking, we can't hear you. Okay. Go ahead.
Theo, can you hear? Is he there?
Okay. If while Theo is trying to unmute, if someone else wants to say something to Dr. Ben, you can raise your hand and the host we can see.
Now, you said we can ask questions?
Yes, please.
Well, this is a question I usually ask in intimate moments with friends, or I've asked for years, my mom and my dad or family members. And I don't think I've ever asked her this. Um, but it's not pertaining to her. I ask young people, older people, and I'm not trying to be somber. When you get to heaven, after you, of course, see Jesus and all of that, and I know we have different faiths, as Dr. Brescia mentioned, who are the first three people you are going to look for? It can't be a Bible character, just people in your life, or that you may not have known, maybe a grandparent. But who are the three people? The first three people. I know it's more, but the first three people you're gonna look for.
Well, I'm going to thank God. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. You said, see, I'm going to thank God I made it. And then, of course, my parents and my adopted parents.
That's good. That's really good. Anybody else? I know, Dr. Benton, you mentioned, I don't remember the young man's name, but along with myself, the one that ate from the McDonald's trash can, I hope that life has rewarded him. So
I pray. His name was Luther, and he was
Luther.
Hispanic. His name was Luther.
What was Luther's last name? Do you remember?
You know what? I said Luther so much that I don't know.
Okay.
Luther was a fifth grader. He was in this part when we first integrated. He was in that part in Wycliffe Elementary School in West Fort Worth.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, is there anybody else with any questions? I see Wanda Gaines. Go ahead, please.
Hi there.
Hey, Wanda.
Hey, Shirley.
Tell them all about it, Wanda.
I put in the comment that she was born in. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I had two things going. I was on my desktop so I could see her clearly, but then I had my cell phone as well. But Shirley was born in Long Branch, population now 348. And I just want you all to know that she never forgets us. I don't know, my pastor is on, but it's been some years back when we had his anniversary. that Shirley and her sister Valletta drove from Fort Worth in the ice and the snow because we had programmed her to be the MC.
What you say?
And she is loyal to this community. Her, I don't know if it's her grandparents or who that's buried in Rockmore Cemetery, but every year she pays her dues in whatever we're doing. If I reach out to her, she always responds. And I'm so glad, Brescia, to get to meet you on this Zoom because she shared you all's reconnecting. And I just think that's so awesome. So love you. She'll be in Carthage February the 28th as our Black History speaker. And Shirley, we are all sold out. We're
Oh, you
just waiting
really?
for you to
Oh,
come.
how many people?
424.
Wow. Okay.
That is awesome. Will this event be able to Zoom? If so, our organization, I can mention that we can probably support and share this if it's a Zoom, if it's an opportunity to watch. We can talk
I'll,
about it.
I'll,
We can talk about
we'll
it. Yes,
talk. Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's beautiful. And
Awesome.
congratulations.
Oh, thank
Yes.
Congratulations.
you. Thank
Thank you.
you. Well, the family is coming with me, and we're going to go over to the home place and see it, look around, and they'll get to see the home. The home is over 200 years old and is still standing. So that's going to be something to see for the family. And some other surprises they're going to get to see.
But that is wonderful. Congrats again on your next honor and your next and your next and your next.
No.
And guys, is there anybody else in the chat with a question, a comment, or something they'd like to share with Dr. Shirley Benton? Well, thank you. I want to
Beverly
say,
Calloway has her hand raised.
oh, she does. Thank you. Let's see. Go ahead, Miss Calloway. Thank you for that.
The oldest grandniece.
Unmute your microphone.
Unmute.
Let's give her a second to unmute.
Did you get the
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. My name is Beverly Warren Timms, and I am the oldest niece of my auntie Shirley Knox Benton. And I would like to say she is the matriarch of my family, in which we are very proud of her. We honor her, and we do meet often to make sure that we get to fellowship with each other and love on each other. And she is the reason for, she's really my very number one fan. And she's the number one fan of most of the family, all the family members as we know. And we like to say that she has been a very positive role model to our family. We are proud of her. We're proud of her accomplishments. We are proud of her positive attitude. And we're also I like to know to share with you that I also worked with her at Dunbar, which I really enjoyed. And one reason she wanted me to work with her, she wanted someone to help her accomplish her goals in a positive way. And I think we met that goal while she was during her tenure at Dunbar. And I'd like to say again that the family is very proud. We honor you, we glorify you, and we wish you the best. And let you know that we will be on the road on the 28th coming down to share your Black History Weekend with you.
coming down to Long Branch, Texas. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
All of my nieces, I did a little babysitting with all of them. All of
Yeah,
my nieces, grandnieces.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much, and we love you. We appreciate you, and
Thank
we wish the
you.
best. You the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you. And I do believe Theo is back. Theo, are you able to speak? I do see in the chat, he said a beautiful legacy. Are you able to speak? Okay, his environment may not be conducive to a Zoom right now, but we are grateful for your presence and we see that you're there. Are there any more hands raised in the chat that I'm not seeing? Because we do not want to miss.
He said he left a message, so I guess he can't get on.
Yes, he did. Let
Yeah.
me read you his message again.
Okay.
And we also put in the chat the link to purchase her book. He says, I'm here, but can't unmute or get on video. He said it's a lot of noise around him, but he definitely wanted to be present.
But read what he said. There's something about, did you see his?
Yes, that's what he said. It's a lot. Oh, thank you for believing in a kid. Thank you for believing in a kid many called a basket case. You never stopped. I use that fortitude when mentoring at-risk youth today. Thank you for giving me the blueprint. I will never forget you.
That's my Theo. Yes. And I remember all of my young people, at least by name and all, and face, and wherever I see them. And I'm talking about gang members and all. I'm thinking about that. I didn't give up on anybody.
Well, we still have people here loving on you. And there was a story that I liked, your Joe Clark story, if you want to share that one.
Oh, they call me Mrs. Joe Clark.
No,
And they also call me Mrs. Jack A., who was the first principal at Dunbar High School. I understand he carried a belt. But they call me Mrs. Joe Clark because of the movie Lean on Me.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe Clark, Mr. Joe Clark carried a baseball and a bat. And I carried love, God, empathy in my heart. I had a bullhorn. I rode my bicycle to school, up and down the hall and all around. They never knew where I would be. So I did a little of Mr. Joe Clark, but he just had the bullhorn in the back.
Oh,
But I had love and God and all of that for my children.
Absolutely.
One of the things we did at Dunbar, which was wonderful, for the seniors in high school, every fourth Sunday of the month, we worshiped together. We did I had God in my heart and at the bottom of that with the children. And he just led me. He was there with me every step of the way with those children. And I'm happy to report that after 12 years, these young people that attended during that era, they are doing quite well. They're entrepreneurs, all over the place, teachers, doctors, lawyers, judges. They're all over the place. And in my book, I had the opportunity to contact at least 60 of these young people, and they have quotes in the book that I wrote. The book is In Class with Class. It can be done, and you can get it at Amazon, on Amazon.
And that link is in the comments for those of you who want to purchase.
All right, and it tells the whole story. I see Rachel Sanders is on, and I've known Rachel before she was born. And Rachel married one of my former students at Dunbar.
Yes, ma'am. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
That's my Rachel. I can't believe that your daughter is 17 or 16 or whatever. Is she a senior?
There we go.
She is a junior, and that's what I was going to say. Good evening. You led into what I was going to say. I don't remember not knowing you. You were one of those people that if someone says, how long have you known Dr. Benton? I would say my entire life. And I think it is amazing that not only you remember everything about me, including my birthdays, in which I still get birthday cards. You also rattle off things about Addison, who is, you are correct, a 17-year-old junior who thinks she is running my life at times. So I have to check her about that. So, we see hashtags everywhere. So I would probably say about me when thinking about you, hashtag goals, because when I get to be like you, that is a hashtag goal. So for those of you who don't know, I have seen Dr. Benton at church, but we also share the same uh, occupation as well. We are both educators. So at church, I have hemmed her up many a time and said, I have this going on at work. What do you think I need to do? I have this student. What do you think I need to do? So she was also a mentor for me when it came to my principalship. So I am very grateful. And she was thinking in the future when other people were giving me, candy gifts. Dr. Benton was giving me savings bonds. So just things like that. So I am very grateful for the role that you did and still play in my life. So love you much. And I'm also going to do something that I would warn you about. I stay busy and I'm going to have to log off because I have a church meeting that I have to go to.
And I
So
want to tell you all, her mother went to Bible school, and her mother was running in my seventh grade homeroom at Kirkpatrick High School.
yes, yes,
So way back.
yes. So love you, but I did not want to just,
Too, darling. Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak, share words with Dr. Benton?
I would, Dr. Butcher. My name is Dee Harden, and I'm a member of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. So I too have known Mrs. Benton my entire life. And I remember when I was a kid and she would do the announcements, she still does them beautifully. It was always my goal to do them as well as she did. And I didn't have the privilege of being a student at one of her schools, but I did have the privilege of watching her my entire life. And I'm so grateful for what she's poured into me. And I too, like Rachel, get a card every year with my dollar for my Dr. Pepper. And I always go and get my Dr. Pepper. But I've told her personally how much I appreciate her. But in this forum, I'd also like to say it in front of other people that she is truly a blessing, not just to individuals, but to the body of Christ. She is a woman of God and a woman of integrity, elegance, class, whatever you want to say. She is a beautiful soul. And I'm so glad that you're doing this. And I love her very much.
Oh, yep, and one of my Sunday school girls.
Forever. Still in Sunday school.
She's a great Sunday school teacher, preacher.
Awesome. That is so good. We need it. We need it. We need it. That's the missing link in the love and the compassion. Are there any other hands raised in the chat? I'm trying to see. Okay. Awesome. 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 So I'm going to ask everybody. I'm sorry.
Anise Hutchinson is on. She wants to say something.
Oh, come on. Yes.
Good evening.
Hello. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask a question, Sister Benton, Dr. Benton, and that is, what was the individual's name that wanted to do big and better things? Like, you remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
He was at Wedgwood Middle School, and his mother came one day to see about him. I was a counselor at the time, and he didn't want to do right. And so finally I asked him, I said, well, young man, what do you want to do? I want to do big and better things. I said, well, what do you want to do, big and better things? I want to go to Six Flags.
What you say?
Yeah, I didn't recall his name, but Miss Benton and I have been together most of my life, and we started out on the north side it's Lincoln, but we said Lincoln on Lincoln Street, and I from elementary school on through high school. When I went to college, I had been TCJC South Campus. You probably don't know about South. We said TCJC. Most of you know TCC. And I had gone to Prairie View, and I had hours there in pre-nursing. but my adopted mother became ill, and I had to come. I chose to come home. But guess who walked me to on the campus of Texas Wesley? Yours truly,
Wow.
Dr. Shirley Knox Benton.
Wow.
So I finished there and all, and a lot of things took place there. So she's a grand person. Now she's strict when it needs to be because she wants you to understand what she's trying to tell you and prepare you for. But I just like to say congratulations, and it's nice to meet you, Dr. B. I talked to you earlier, and and all is well. You had a good mentor and whatever else, however you want to label that. So I'm sure she's very proud of you.
And
Awesome.
Beverly followed Anise as my finance clerk at Dunbar. You know, you had to be careful with the money, folks. And so I tell you, Beverly was a good one, and then Beverly, you followed Anise. And I tell them now, if they come in one way and don't come by my office, I said, something's wrong, let me know. And they were very good at what they did. I have to tell you about Aunt Niece was wanting to go back, and her mother died, and I never could get her mother to visit me. But this particular time, her mother made a trip out here, and in so many words, she asked me to see about Aunt Niece. And each time I invited her to come, the sun was the wind was always coming out of the north, but she wouldn't come. But this particular time, she came. But when Aunt Niece, she was really trying to continue with her getting her degree, and she thought she was just going up to TWC just to see what they were doing. But I made sure that she was registered and got in there and made her in order to receive her degree. So she was Reggie's babysitter back in the day. And I need to tell my nieces are on. Aunt Viola was the one that couldn't say Lincoln. She said Lincoln. And that's, where do you live, Aunt Viola? She says, I live at 3007 Lincoln. She just couldn't get Lincoln going.
That's right.
We always had a running joke about it.
Great.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys can still hear me.
Yes.
Okay, because I can't see you. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties over here. So if you would give me just a minute.
Brisha, did I cover everything that you wanted me to cover?
You absolutely
once again,
did.
make sure you all vote. Make sure you vote.
You absolutely did. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you guys for sharing space. Thank you for being present in this moment. And we share lots of opportunities, not only Zoom, but on the ground and in person in our respective states and places we serve. We are looking for more ambassadors and volunteers, those who believe in civic engagement and all the work and the things that we are doing as a people. And honestly, in an effort for all of us to do that, the first thing I want you to do is to follow 1K Women Strong on all socials that you may be on, because we are growing. We're a baby. We're only 6 in this space, but we are in this space for real. We are in this space to not encourage people who to vote for, but to encourage them how critical their responsibility of civic duties are, because we're in a time of people that are so lackadaisical that they're not getting up and actively engaged in voting. And Dr. Shirley Benton, being from Tarrant County, and Tarrant County has not been actively engaged in their voter responsibility the way they should in a very long time, but they are actively engaging now. So, and I think that with people like us who are sharing, caring, and recognizing the reality of the world that we're living in versus the world that once Dr. Benton saw that there were different colored water fountains, and the difference in those, one was hot and one was cold, regardless of, the season. That's the same types of things that that's being done with people now, that they're just taking away rights that were fought for. And so now the fight that they had back then, they had to use their fists, but we don't have to. You know, we are intelligent and we're all moving different. So I charge you to share with your family and friends, not just our org, but all orgs. We love to collaborate. If there's someone with an organization, send an email. My name is Brisha, Brisha at 1K Women Strong. Our director, Aja, AJA, all of our names is our first name only, and 1K Women Strong. And also, in order to even do this work, I have an event that we are all host in Texas called For Tokes and Jokes for Men, where men get together and they share space and community and mental health awareness, because we support men too. It's critical that men need that in this season. We have an event coming up where it's Earth Day, and it's where we literally give women their flowers, because it's critical that we believe in giving flowers while we can, right? And so in order to do that, small dollar donations are awesome. There is a donate link that my colleague will put in the box, and if one person gave $25, one person gave $1, it all adds up. It all adds up. So, and we appreciate that, so that we can continue to do this work. Nothing will stop me from doing this work. I love people. I love community. I love you, Dr. Benton. Thank you for popping me.
Well, I tell you, it was out of love. I see, I have to tell you that I see my niece on from Austin, Texas, Jackie
Yes.
Jones. I see my granddaughter's mother on, Gwendolyn Morgan. Oh, I see Linda Eigelhart. I just see so many good people, and I thank you all so much. I see my church people. Thank you so much. And I'm reading your comments, and I just appreciate you all so much.
And this is a woman who is, tell them how old you are, Dr. Benton.
88.
88.
12 years from 100.
And acting 18 and operating this chat. So do we get one more wardrobe change for the exit?
Yes,
okay, well we will chat amongst ourselves while you log off.
All right,
She has one more wardrobe change.
block me off? You blocking me off?
You who's best?
Want me to do it?
You do it, please.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay, she will be back. That was good, guys. Thank you so much. I am grateful for this space. And as I will just share a bit about our organization again and the things that we do, we are civically engaged. And I do see why our founder created the organization, so that when no one else is on the ground for real doing things, we make sure that we are there. That it didn't take long. That is so pretty. I gotta come pick that one up. That you guys gonna see that one again. That is beautiful. All of them are great, but look at that. Oh my. Oh, that is pretty.
That's my Easter bonnet.
That is her.
Wow. Oh my.
Shows, but not anymore.
Can you say that one more time?
I used to give hat shows, but I haven't done them in quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, we see. And if you guys, she did mention a girls' trip that she didn't get to have slumber parties and sleepovers and all those things. And something she and I talked about, another place she's never been is Philadelphia. So we are talking about her first girls' trip. So we're going to take her, and her first girls trip is going to be to Philadelphia. So if you guys are interested, and girls, guys can go, it's girls trip. But if you're married and your spouse wants to travel, no problem. We'll just do some things, have some plans where she can be in Philadelphia and have a good time. Put your name in the chat, please. And then our director will take care of that. She can see everything that's going on in the chat, or you can send me an email at Brisha, Brisha at 1K Women Strong, if that's not already in the chat. But we were going to plan her girls trip. And Pastor Pulliam, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this or not. Pastor Pulliam put in the comments, he would like to know how many hats she has. She's not going to ever tell anybody that number, but she told me.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding. She didn't. Did she? But
That's
yes,
different.
so lot I so let's see. And so this is exciting. Thank you. Thank you. We're here to the, if anybody has anything else to say, I will close it out by saying thank you, give you your time back. And we are so grateful that you joined us. It was wonderful. Dr. Ben, would you like to have some closing words, please? And Pastor,
No,
would
this
you pray
God
us
is
out
good, and
when
I
she
want to
finishes?
tell everybody that, keep God in your lives. That's the foundation. Dr. Joel Gregory asked me the other day about being 88 years old, and he wanted to know how did that happen. And I'll tell everybody, keep God first. When I hit the floor every morning, and before I really after I brush my teeth and put anything in my mouth, I go to God in prayer. And not only that, I go with some scriptures and all of that. You just can't be doing the right thing. And that's keep putting God first. And I'll tell you, that's the foundation of it all. That's the foundation.
Yes,
Keep
yes.
God first.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pastor Pulliam, if you don't mind praying us out from a place of love and peace for all people and everybody, whether we understand or they understand, this just the peace that's necessary and needed for the nation in this season. And again, thank you, Dr. Benton. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
In God's name and in the powerful name that we know and I know as we know God is love, may you have peace, joy, and may you live a life that is worth living as we have seen in the life of Shirley Knox Benton. Amen.
Amen.